on TV.
Check mic 1, 2, 1, 2.
Talking sports. Live and in color.
In color. As if it could be any other way.
Oh, man. Back in the day. Bob Hope. Bing Crosby.
I wasn't around doing this.
I forgot. You're only 46 years old.
That's it.
Jason the Liggett.
Yeah, he forgot us last week.
He didn't. No, he didn't. He was here. He didn't forget it. He just said, I ain't going over there this week. I got things to do. You know how when you got a list of priorities?
Yep.
Some things just don't get done.
We fall in that category. I couldn't get to him.
We are others receiving votes. But we appreciate him. He is, if you don't know Jason Liggett by now, he is probably the hardest working audio-video guy in Champaign County. Baseball, football, basketball, city council, us, as you would say.
Mm-hmm.
I know everybody's like, who is us?
That'd be us.
Talking Sports, WBCP 1580, UPTV Channel 6, U versus 99, DirecTV 473.
One of these days we're going to get prime time. Can we get prime time?
No. We don't want to go back to prime time. We might scare the children.
We can't get prime time?
No, we can't scare the children.
We can go up against Scandal and all them other programs that come on.
Now the people can see me wiping my face. You just said us against Scandal.
I can see the ratings now.
You can see the ratings?
They'll be having,
You're the only ones that can see the ratings.
They'll be having talking sports viewing parties.
Our mothers are getting together. My baby getting ready to come on TV now. Oh, look, he's so cute.
Yeah, sit down and hush.
Don't be making no noise while Samuel's talking. I'm going to make him a cake afterwards. Oh, you got a...
Speaking of which, my mother's birthday was yesterday.
Was it?
Happy birthday yesterday, Mom.
So, what's the formal address? Happy birthday, Sergeant Rock's mom?
No, happy birthday, Mom.
That goes to every mother.
Well, Mrs. Howard, then for you.
That's what I was asking. Happy birthday, Mrs. Howard.
Yeah, we had a good time, man. Went out to the Red Lobster for some chow. And then,
Okay, wait a minute. We're talking about your mother's birthday, and you said chow. Like you were with your platoon, your unit,
all right, we went
your
out,
division.
We went out for dinner.
You went out for dinner with your mother on her birthday. That is, I think, the more appropriate vernacular.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Got to play with the lobsters in the tank. Needless to say, they weren't too happy.
Nah.
They all,
if you was on death row, would you want somebody coming in your cell playing with you?
They all crawl up into a corner, you know. And it's the one up against the glass that's smiling.
Right.
You don't get me.
Yeah. Could you imagine that's how death row worked? You know, all the guys on death row.
All in a cage.
In a cage, and then a big arm just come in and grab one of them and
Your
take
turn.
them out. Yeah. And then you get thrown in a hot pot of water.
Hot pot of water.
Not fun.
What a way to go.
Speaking of way to go.
Man, we had a whole bunch of stuff went on this week, Joe. I had to take extra notes.
I see.
Because you know I got that short-term memory.
Right.
Sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't. But
sometimes I see.
NBA,
the same as me.
NBA season ended Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Teams were set for the playoffs. I got a list around here somewhere. You probably got it memorized. Oh, here we go. The playoffs start tomorrow, first round. Mm-hmm. Washington and Toronto.
Mm-hmm. The Raptors. That's a 4-5 there.
Mm-hmm. Also, New Orleans against Golden State.
8-1.
Milwaukee take on the Bulls.
Mm-hmm. 6-3.
Then you got Dallas against Houston. That ought to be a good series.
Yeah. That is going to be one of the more intriguing series of the 8 that start this thing off.
Mm-hmm. And then on Sunday, you got Boston and Cleveland. Boston's back into the playoffs.
7 seed.
What's that guy who used to coach, came out of college?
Oh, boy. That dude.
That dude.
Coach at Butler.
Yeah. Coach Butler. What was his name? You can't remember.
I don't even.
Anyway.
Is it important?
Well, I just couldn't congratulate him on a good thing he did with the Celtics this season to get him into the playoffs
and to get him in at 7 seed.
And you always complaining about how you need Boston's one of those teams that need to get back into the NBA playoffs to make the NBA worth watching. So there you go. You also got Brooklyn against Atlanta.
Brooklyn sneaks in by the hair of the chinny chin chin. Atlanta, your number 1 seed in the East. But I guarantee you, unless you the girlfriends, mothers, or family members of the Atlanta Hawks, you can name 5 people on the Atlanta roster right now. Sorry.
That's all right. Then you got Memphis against
Portland.
Yeah.
Portland's coming into the playoffs nicked up. Batum went down the other day with a knee injury. You've got LaMarcus Aldridge, his foot. He played through the regular season in pain, but Memphis is one of those teams they just old school grind it out, and as good as Portland is, they may be in for a 7-game series here.
Now, Memphis has been in the playoffs the last 3 years, something like that. Then you got San Antonio against Los Angeles, and we're not talking the Lakers either.
I said earlier about Dallas and Houston, how intriguing that matchup would be in the first round, but here it is, you have the defending champions
against the
Clippers.
They played the Clippers to get into the championships series last year, did they not?
And I think we remember just a year ago at this time, you had all the issues going on with the crazy owner and the I don't want black folks at my game, this, that, and the other.
And the side chick.
Right.
They had a ruling on that this week, too. We get to that a little later on.
Mm-hmm. And then you got San Antonio, who were revenge-minded last year and beat Miami to win the title. And this year, San Antonio has looked like an old team. They look like the energy that they spent last year to win the title really wore on them. A lot of guys, Tony Parker specifically, just didn't have a season that he had a year ago or 2 years ago, for that fact. And to have to defend your championship, San Antonio's biggest issue is they're a 6 seed, so they're traveling. They're going to be the road team on every series that they play in. So,
the Spurs, they can win on the road. But, these guys, they've been playing together for, almost 11 years now?
111.
So, like you said, they old. I don't think, it didn't take a lot. Taking a lot out of them to win the championship last year, I don't think it's taking that much of a toll on them this year. They just old. But they play sound, fundamental basketball, and that can get them into the championship, i.e. like Michigan State did in the NCAA tournament.
I don't know, Sarge. I don't see any Alabama A&M's, Alcorn States, Murray States in this tournament.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. Notice what team is not, that I did not read off. Anybody out there know which team that I did not read off?
Oklahoma City.
There you go.
Everybody bang the drum for Russell Westbrook, MVP candidate. Kevin Durant went down with the foot injury, and then when he tried to come back, additional problems, so he had the bone graft, so he's out 4 to 6 months. So everybody thought, hey, Westbrook, step up, do your thing. And he proceeded to just shoot his team right out of the playoff run.
What was that Wednesday night when he took something like 70-something shots?
43 to be exact. To score 54 points.
Yeah.
Not a good percentage. And they asked him after they found out they were eliminated from the playoff running that he won the scoring championship, how he felt about that. He gave the team answer. I don't care. I don't care about the scoring championship. Hey, are you kidding me?
Oh man, he went up home.
Oh, he went home and popped champagne.
Lit up a cigar.
Ran around the house with his little drawers on with the OKC emblem on them. And, you know, he's waving a towel because he knows in his contract there was probably some incentive in there that he'll get extra few dollars by winning the scoring championship.
Yeah, you gonna watch the playoff? No.
Right, because he's going to be on a beach somewhere with that incentive money, partying with some bikini models, talking about, you know, I don't have to be in DraftKings.com. I got mine right here. So.
And with that, with the playoffs being set, Las Vegas has already weighed in.
The whales, the big guys.
Westgate Superbook made the Cleveland Cavaliers 9-4 favorites to win it all this year.
That's who I think is going to win it. I know a lot. The sexy pick is obviously Golden State. Golden State won 67 regular season games. Everybody's liking the Steph Curry ball handling exhibition and the threes that they shoot, along with Klay Thompson and Draymond Green and, you know, the rest of that team. But I think both of us, you know, I know you ain't been around as long as me.
No. But go ahead. Go ahead.
Championship sports. I'm not going to say championship basketball. Championship sport is won on defense and possession scoring, meaning the 110 and 115 points that you see put up nightly by Golden State, it doesn't happen in the playoffs. Because the games get slowed down to almost a snail's pace, especially in the second half. And usually what happens is you get a lot of isolation basketball or two-man basketball, and you need a post guy that can get in the block, turn, and either, you know, dunk on his opposing defender, put it on the glass, and make free throws. I don't see a guy on Golden State being able to do that. Now I know a lot of people argue and say, well, they don't need that because Steph Curry shoot the three, man. Yeah. I've never seen a team win a championship based on a perimeter game, especially in basketball. I know football has transitioned a little bit. You know, with the receivers, you throw the ball all around the field, but even then, you still want to have a running back to try to ground the clock down and, you know, keep possession of the ball.
Mm-hmm. With that, Curry and the Warriors are the second pick at 5-2.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got the Spurs at 4-1 favorite, and then the Hawks at 12-1 favorite. So those are your top four that Vegas had picked to win the NBA championship. Bring up the bottom at 200-1. You know, we don't condone betting, but if we did,
I'll put that dollar on the Nets right now.
If
they win it, that's an easy $200 in your pocket.
Yeah, go to bet there. Let me see.
Go bet $10.
Yep. Next, Brooklyn Nets bringing up the bottom, followed by the Celtics, followed by the Bucks at 200-1. So that's how that goes. And speaking of Stephen Curry, he made 77 straight threes in practice, 94 out of 100. That was when Tuesday night? Tuesday night, Wednesday night doing practice. Golden State Warriors guard and owner of the NBA single-season three-point record connected with 77 straight threes. That's in Tuesday night practice. He rotated around the perimeter, taking 10 shots from several spots. Curry told ESPN that 77 represents the most he's ever made in a row. Out of 100 shots taken during the session, he made 94. That's pretty darn good.
Is that pretty darn good? That's spectacular. First of all, to make 77 straight of anything. Of anything. Imagine 77, you're on a pool table. And all you got to do is take cue ball, knock the 8 ball in the corner pocket 77 times. They give you 100 shots to do it. Pretty difficult feat.
Because two things. Physical fatigue comes into play whenever you try to do something for a long period of time. But mental focus, to be able to stay focused to do the same thing repetitiously over and over and over. That means your mechanics have to be the same. The shot has to be almost exactly the same. If you're off 1 to 2 degrees when taking that 3-point shot in terms of the arc, that's the difference between the ball going in the basket and hitting the rim and popping out.
Right. Well, 94 out of 100, that's pretty darn good. That's pretty darn good shooting.
That's 94%. You imagine somebody shooting 94% from the free throw line, they call him a great shooter. What do you call a guy who shoots 94% from the 3-point line?
Excellent shooting.
Out of this world. But with all that being said, I'm still going to be...
So you're rolling with Cleveland to win it all?
I just think the only reason why I'm rolling with Cleveland is when I look at basketball at the NBA level, and I talked about the isolation basketball that they play, and I said you need a guy who can get in the block, and there's not too many dominant centers anymore that play basketball or play it through the center game. And LeBron James is the best player when it comes to when he's on the floor, he's probably the only guy who can dominate from the block and also dominate from the perimeter. You know, you got a lot of guys who can either, like Steph Curry, phenomenal shooting from outside, but if his shot's not falling from the outside, he can't go into the block. Derrick Rose, we know he's limited because of his injury. His explosion, he can get to the rack. But now he's almost being relegated to being more of a perimeter shooter. I just think LeBron James's game and the fact that he has Kyrie Irving as an up-and-coming superstar and Kevin Love, the type of guy who can be an assassin from the 3-point line. And then he's got some role guys that, you know, J.R. Smith, his antics on the court and some of the other stuff people may not like, but J.R. Smith is a hooper. He can ball. And because of that, that's why I think Cleveland, and who else is there to play against in the East? I told you, I said Atlanta, they may be the number 1 seed, but
you don't think they can get past Cleveland?
I just don't think they're going to get to the point of playing Cleveland.
Uh-oh.
I just don't see Atlanta getting out of the second round. And even if they do get to the Eastern Conference Finals, they're the number 1 seed, Cleveland's number 2. I think Cleveland's got enough in the tank to steal one in Atlanta to take home court advantage from them. And then, as I said, Cleveland has LeBron James.
Indiana didn't make the playoffs this year either.
No, the Pacers didn't make that because they lost that last game. Paul George, kudos to him for coming back from the broken leg, but he missed that last game due to a calf strain. So he'll have to recoup over the summer to get back in there. That's how Brooklyn snuck in there and got that last spot.
All right, let's keep it in the NBA. The wife of former Clippers owner Donald Sterling, he's owed $2.6 million by the side chick through the husband's shower with gifts, and the judge ruled that Tuesday. Judge Richard Frum Jr. awarded Shelley Sterling most of the money that she claimed was community property from 6 decades of marriage that was secretly spent doing V. Strevino's a house, Ferrari, and other luxury gifts. Now, what's funny about this, Sterling's testified, right? And he said that during the course of their 2.5 years together, he gave her a Ferrari, Bentley, a Range Rover, and paid the lion's share of $1.8 million duplex near Beverly Hills. He also testified that he paid for the entire house, though Travano said that she contributed an unknown amount of money donated in small bills by family members and that she saved in her bedroom drawer. So she's getting some twos and fews. Mm-hmm. Donald Sterling also said that he contributed that Stovall didn't contribute 50 cents to the house, and noting that Stovall is part black and Hispanic, and said she illegally got her name inserted into escrow documents by befriending Hispanic bank and escrow employees. Now he done turned on her.
He lost his team. So D. Sterling ain't happy.
He's also suing his wife.
Everybody's suing everybody.
Yeah, because they got what, $3 billion for that team, $2 billion, something like that. That's what she got.
Let this be a lesson to the side chicks out there. Make sure that his wife is consenting when he gives you those girls.
That's right. Be sure to ask her, is it okay with him?
Did I take this car?
Exactly. Side, come on, that should be a prerequisite to dating married men or somebody that got a woman already.
So what you're saying is there should be some contractual obligation?
It should be.
Sign. You sign here?
Yeah, write that down. You are giving me.
With the consent of your wife.
That's right.
This 2015 BMW.
That's right. Sign, initial here.
I have a notary right here.
That's right. Get that taken care of, side chick. You won't have that problem.
You don't want to be in court. Have to get back them shoes. You know, she done went out and bought them judge telling you to take shoes off.
Take shoes off.
Put them up here on bailiff.
But you know, this ruling sets a prerequisite for, you know, future cases like this.
In the case of Sterling v. Striviano.
Yeah,
in 2015, the precedent was set.
Exactly. So
the defendant, aka the side chick.
Oh man, she gotta get all that back. Where's she gonna live, Joe?
There's somebody. Trust me. Superhead can find another man.
She gonna go out there and start rubbing on some old dude leg.
And his leg moving like a 9-year-old collie.
I used to go with Donald.
Used to is the key word in that sentence.
But I guess you heard how that went. But I'm available now.
NBA is fantastic.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll take a break. When we come back. Speaking of suing, the chick that Jameis Winston is accused of assaulting is suing him in a civil lawsuit. And that's taking place just days before the draft. Will it hurt him, Joe?
No.
Not going to hurt him. So when we come back, we'll talk about that here on Talking Sports.
Welcome back. Talking Sports, WBCP 1580. Back on the air at UPTV Channel 6 and UVersus Channel 99. DirecTV Channel 777. You gotta have that big package to.
Yeah, to get all that.
You know, yeah.
Speaking of big packages.
Time out!
Yeah, no, we'll get to that one a little later. Don't forget about May 2nd, fight night out at the Wyndham Garden Hotel. Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. We're going to be sitting up there with two great big projection screen TVs. Tickets are $15 in advance. $20 at the door. They are now available, so be sure and get yours. We're going to have cash bars, some free finger foods, and going to have some entertainment as well.
That's some fried fingers?
No, some free finger food.
You said finger foods. I thought that, you were telling me fried fingers.
So why pay the high cable cost?
Why pay the cost of high cable?
When you just can come, well, it's pay-per-view, and I think it's something like $99 or something like that. Darn near $100. $99 because $100 is too much. But you can come out and join us for just $15 and catch the fight.
Great deal.
It truly is. I'm going to be there. Joe's going to be there. And, of course, it's sponsored by the Whip Barbershop, North End Breakfast Club, WBCP, and, of course, Talking Sports with Joe and myself. Was there anybody else that I missed?
Well, Big Bun's going to be there with you.
Oh, yeah, Big Bun as well. So it's going to be an entertaining time. We're going to have some fun, for sure. I got Pacquiao in the fight, by the way.
Now, you got 2 weeks away, 2 weeks and a day before the big fight. So when you get closer, your prognosticators start picking sides, and you've picked Pacquiao. And what would be the basis of you picking Pacquiao in this particular fight?
Actually, I have none. but
I have none.
I'm just going with Pacquiao.
Just going with Pacquiao.
That's it.
It's hard to go against a guy who's never lost. And you look at Mayweather. He's not the type of fighter you're going to ride the fence on. Either you like him or you hate him. And, I know he's done some things in the past, not only in the ring, but outside the ring. But when you look at it just from purely boxing, when a guy has never gotten an L on his record, there's something about the mental side of the fight of when it gets into the trenches. Because at being 38 years old and another fighter being 36 years old, Roy Jones said something which I totally agree with. When fighters get older, usually the fight is better in terms of the action, because they're going to get hit with punches that in the past they never got hit with, because they just are too old to get away from them. And when you get a left-handed fighter fight against an orthodox style fighter as Mayweather, left-handed fighters give, orthodox fighters a lot of trouble, because that left hand just kind of sneaks in there. Mm-hmm. And Pacquiao's, as we've seen over the years, Pacquiao is the type of guy that, will throw punches in bunches, and, they're really trying to get him to get that fire back that he had about 6-7 years ago when he was knocking guys out. And so he's going to probably come out and try to put pressure on Floyd. The thing I looked at when they had the press conference and they stood next to each other, how much bigger Floyd is than Pacquiao.
Yeah.
And, Floyd is, some people think Floyd's kind of a light puncher, and he's controlled in his aggression. I had a feeling that Floyd might be trying to go after him on this one. The last couple of fights Floyd had against Marcus Maidana was kind of wild. So Floyd did a lot of defensive fighting and trying to evade his punches.
Did he go to distance on that?
He went to distance on both of them. But I'm picturing Floyd, if Manny doesn't get him and get him early, and when I say early, first 3 rounds, I'm picturing Floyd doing a lot of counter right-hand shots. And we saw Manny go to sleep when he fought Juan Manuel Marquez. I'm not saying Floyd will put him to sleep, but it goes back to what I said about that mental edge. Manny knows what it's like not only to get knocked out, but also to lose. He lost that controversial fight to Tim Bradley. And if he gets in trouble, what happens mentally to Manny Pacquiao would be the question I'd ask everybody. So
now Pacquiao's been waiting on this fight for 5 years now.
5-6 years.
I don't think he's coming in mentally prepared to take on Mayweather.
No, he will be mentally prepared, but as the great philosopher Mike Tyson once said, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth. Once he gets hit and tastes Floyd's power, does that get him angry? Or that gets him afraid? It's a fight or flight syndrome that kicks in. And will the fight syndrome or scenario kick in where he jumps on Floyd because he didn't like the fact he got hit? Or does he retreat, which gives Floyd confidence to follow him and kind of walk him down? So there'll be a lot of maneuvering and, basically like a chess match going on in this fight, because, right now you've got arguably the 2 best fighters in the world today at this weight. And so it's going to be interesting. Will it be as good as it would have been 5-6 years ago?
Nah.
No. I mean, we know that. Floyd Mayweather 31-32 against a 30-year-old Manny Pacquiao, that would have been Tommy Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard all over again. And speaking of that, if people want to try to, when you try to go back in your mind to try to equate older fights to this one here, go back to when Marvelous Marvin Hagler fought Sugar Ray Leonard in 1987. They were a little bigger. I think they fought at 160. These guys are at 147. But you've got the left-hander, which was Hagler, and you've got more of the boxer, puncher, and Leonard. And if you think about it, Hagler got a little long in the tooth, so he didn't have the same type of steam that he had, 3-4 years prior. Leonard was coming in off of it was either a 2 or 3 year layoff before he got in the ring with Hagler. It was an exciting fight. It depended on the style that you like. It was a split decision. Leonard won. I can almost see the same thing happening in this one here.
No, well, it's going to be interesting to see. That's May 2nd out at the Wyndham Garden Hotel. I think doors open up at 7 or 8, somewhere around about that. You know what we need to do, Joe? Since we're going to be there, we need to put on a prelim fight. We need to don the gloves, get out there in the middle of the floor, and me and you go about 8 rounds.
If each round is a second, you got it.
No, at least 2 minutes round.
That fight won't go 1 round.
So you declaring me the winner already?
No, I'm just saying the fight ain't gonna go 1 round. Because if I gotta go more than 10 seconds with some gloves on, I'm grabbing a chair. I'm throwing some salt in you. Oh, this ain't WWE?
No.
Because.
But now that you brought it up, on network TV now they got that fighting. What is it? Prime
Boxing Network.
A couple of weeks ago it was on CBS. Last Saturday it was on NBC. Mm-hmm. I happened to catch a couple of those fights. That high definition changed your whole view of boxing, especially in slow motion. When
you see a guy's face go,
his whole faces go shaking and getting all distorted and everything.
And then sweat flies off and
mouthpiece come flying across the ring.
You say you make a career change real quick.
I'm like, dang.
Is that what it's like?
His whole head just shakes and the skin just rattles around.
Because you had Andy Lee and Peter Quinlan, and then you had Lamont Peterson and Danny Garcia. And I watched probably the worst corner in the history of boxing. And the guys who were advising Lamont Peterson danced half the fight. And when I say dance, I'm not talking about like on his bicycle. He literally danced. Pop locking, breaking,
stepping.
He danced. I'm like, what is this guy doing?
And
whenever he would sit down on his punches, he was destroying Danny Garcia. But then after he would hit him with a 3-4 punch combination, DJ, put that music back on. And he started dancing again.
Yeah, look pretty, Joe.
And he looked pretty losing, because when they read the
scorecard,
1 point. If he'd have just fought for 2 more rounds, he would have won the fight easily. But everybody wants to be Purdy, as you said.
They want to be Purdy.
And he danced himself right out of a... But it makes you wonder, is the ugly head of, the fixed fights that used to happen back in the day, where certain guys had to win?
You think it's not? Because, most of these fights that, what is it called again? Prime, whatever it is. Most of these guys are undefeated or have 1 loss.
Mm-hmm.
So these guys are getting their chance, to fight prime time and getting their names out there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on. The woman who accused former Florida State quarterback Jameis Winston of raping her in December 2012 is filing a civil lawsuit against him. She did that yesterday, Thursday, in Florida State Court in Orlando. In a lawsuit filed in the 9th Judicial Circuit Court, Erica Kingsman, the former Florida State University student who said Winston sexually assaulted her in his off-campus apartment, accused Winston of sexual battery, assault, false imprisonment, and intentional infliction infliction of emotional distress. Her lawyers are seeking damages in excess of $15,000. I'm like, what? That's not even going to pay expenses. Court expense. Anyway, and the right to seek leave as to her entitlement to punitive damages. Oh, that's for money to come.
Meaning
When he
the specials, as we call it in insurance, might be 15,000, but the emotional distress might be 3 million. Or as you said, the punitive damages, the damages that have no cap. You know, they can be anywhere on that.
Yeah, because she said she suffered from severe mental anguish and suffering, including loss of sleep, flashbacks, severe anxiety, fear of repeat sexual violence, and unfounded sense of shame and depression, in which she continues to require psychological and other counseling.
The issue that you have here, you know, a lot of people say, well, you know, he wasn't even charged. You know, when they went through the judicial board at his school, they had no finding there. But in a civil case,
You don't need all that.
you don't it's only about preponderance of evidence. All the scales have to tip is 51 to 49, and you win. And once they tip 54 to 49, depending on if it's a bench trial or if it's a jury, and if you have a sympathetic jury to the plaintiff, and they see, here's this kid who's going to go on to the NFL and make millions of dollars, you know, civil cases can get crazy. I think we all know about what happened with OJ when he lost his civil case, and what was it, 15 million? Or
Something like that.
to the Goldman family, even though he was acquitted in the criminal version of the case. When you get into this stuff, the system is more lax, meaning the type of evidentiary that can be introduced into the case, judges are a little more lax to let more stuff in, you know, because they want all the information, even hearsay stuff that comes in a civil case. So, you know, Jameis needs to really have whoever's going to represent him on their P's and Q's when they're representing him on this case.
The lawyer said in the statement that Jameis Winston, in contrast, has proven time and time again to be an entitled athlete who believes he can take what he wants. He took something here and that he was not entitled to, and he hurt someone. And, you know, everybody knows about Jameis Winston's off-field antics, and I think a lot of that's going to come into play when the civil trial comes up.
I definitely don't disagree with you. I know some of the stuff he's done, whether it be going into the Burger King and just taking soda out of a soda machine without paying for it. The crab legs incidents at the grocery store where he walked in, got the crab legs, and you can see him basically trying to avoid security to get out. Took care of that. The phrase that he said that we can't say on the radio at the student union.
Yeah.
Are those incidents of immaturity, of just sophomore pranks, as they used to call it when we were growing up?
Could be, but this is a civil trial.
Yeah, so it'll be, once again, really, I'm really curious. You know, the first thing is when we have to look at the plaintiff, no woman should have to go through that. Period. There's no comment, comma, or anything else. No woman should have to go through that. Obviously, the issue is it her word against Jameis? You know, the understanding I have that there was another person in the room. You know, she had a boyfriend at the time. Is he going to testify in terms of his involvement? There are so many factors that'll be brought in that it'll make you really, number one, see that, but then also you going back to what you talk about in terms of precedent being set. This is going to have far-reaching ramifications when it comes to sexual assault on campus. It's going to have far-reaching implications when it comes to the behavior of male student athletes. And it's going to have far-reaching ramifications in terms of what is the responsibility of colleges and universities when it comes to the protection of their students while they're on campus.
Right. And, and I'm thinking this is primarily the reason why they're asking for a jury trial as opposed to a bench trial. Because that way you can get the public more involved, because like you said, a sympathetic jury, I think they will be able to find one.
Yeah, that's why I said it is going to be, if you're interested in criminal law and civil law and just court proceedings, if you're a regular watcher of court shows and law shows,
Judge Judy.
Well, I said court shows. I'm not talking about an old lady just yelling at everybody. That's called Grandma's house.
I'm surprised somebody ain't just walked up there and slapped her upside her head, because it's supposed to, she don't give you time to say anything. You trying to explain, she tell you, oh, shut up.
Let me say something in response to that, though. Do you know how much Judge Judy gets paid a year? She is
one of the most highest paid television personalities.
She makes $47 million a year. And she's 72 years old. You ain't got nothing to say when somebody's sitting up there making $47 million and you come there suing for $350.
Shut up. You're lying.
You know how I know you're lying?
I know what you did.
Even though I wasn't there.
That's right. Even tell you what you did. You wasn't there.
Right.
Oh, come on.
Hey, you be looking at Judge Judy like,
you crazy.
You ain't had that big old black man standing next to you. I come in and punch you.
Oh, man.
That's my question. How much he make?
Huh?
Judge Judy make $47 million. Yeah. What does the bailiff make?
Oh, probably
$1,000 a pack of Newports and brick of rose
and chewing gum.
Bert.
All they do is have a pair with a handcuff.
Except for, wait a minute, the bailiff for Judge Joe Brown, she's retired L.A. County Sheriff. She got a side piece on.
Oh, I never noticed.
She wears a side piece.
I don't know. Wait, Judge Joe Brown talked to some people, so that's the reason why he ain't on the bench now.
Now, is it for me to understand that you're trying to tell me that under the circumstances, the man had $20 and he only gave you $15? Is that what you're contending today in my court of law?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let me tell you something. Then he take his glass up. Throw him up. Let me tell you something, young man.
He still owe me $5.
No. You're not going to play that game in my court today.
Let's see. That's the reason why he ain't on the bench. Didn't he get arrested a couple times?
Yeah, because Judge Joe Brown's a player from the Himalayas.
All right. Here's another player. Darren Sharper, he made a plea deal that may allow him to only serve 9 years of prison time as a result of his numerous rape charges. He is being allowed to serve his terms concurrently since they occurred in many different states, which some have declared as a miscarriage of justice. You think? He will face lifetime probation as a result of his repeated instances of drugging and raping women in Louisiana, California, Arizona, and Nevada. There will be several stipulations that go along with the lifetime probation, and violations of any other terms could land Sharper in serious trouble once again. He won't be allowed to use online dating services. Man. Imagine that.
Hey, cutie. What's your name?
Yeah, meet me at the Wyndham Garden Hotel. He would be subject to lie detector tests. And he will be monitored by GPS by the California official for up to 5 full years. Everywhere you go, there's a satellite tracking you behind.
Oh, that's not Sharper. That's a fly on my phone.
He had to register as a sex offender. Now, this one, last week when we talked about it, we said that he may have his head wired up so they could test him for his. Well, I was wrong.
His head will be wired up.
He will be subject to penal, some kind of other test. Anyway, they gonna attach sensors to his penis to judge his reaction while watching a array of sexual images flashing in front of his eye.
There's so many.
I know.
There's so many right there.
This man ain't gonna be out of jail for 24 hours. I mean, that's cruel and unusual punishment, Joe. How you gonna wire up my stuff and then start showing me sexual images?
Maybe if they could have did this beforehand,
it wouldn't happen.
He wouldn't have had all this trouble he's in right now. But I mean, this is a super serious situation.
Yes, it is.
But like you said, here it is 2015, and we're going back to Soylent Green and Clockwork Orange and some of the
shock treatments.
Hey, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
But
now I will say this: if they give him shock treatment in that area, I don't care what images they flash in front of you. They can show him a donut hole. Derek Sharper gonna be sitting there sweating.
Man, but for real though, Joe, can you see Mr. Sharper have a seat? Want to lower your trousers?
Sure. What are you doing with those wires?
And dude proceeds to hook you up. All right, sit back and relax. They raise up the video screen.
And they got you strapped in.
And they start showing you porno movies.
As soon as you hear bow chicka wow wow.
Oh no, that's 9 more years, Mr. Sharp.
Just take me out the chair now.
That's crazy. Now I've never heard of that procedure before.
Well, maybe that was part of the plea agreement to get it reduced to the 9 years. Because like you said, there, like Louisiana and a couple other states, he was supposed to get at least 20, 25 years. You know. So maybe this was, you know, some extraordinary experimental plea deal to see, you know, to me, no. No.
No what?
No. No what? What do you mean?
No what?
Give me the 25. What do you mean, no what? You're gonna strap this. All right, let me ask you this. Judge looks at you and says, Sergeant Rock.
Sir.
9 years plus penal monitoring. Or just straight 20 years?
I might well go and do the 20 because I know I ain't going to be able to do the 9.
See?
But, you know, don't they have that chemical, what they call it, chemical castration?
I don't know what it is. All I know is that if he's monitored that way, first day the wind blows, he's going to have to deal with something. Speaking of dealing with something, we're going to go to phone lines 359-9227. Oh, talking sports.
Whatever.
Give us a call back, caller.
Yeah, I just think, you know, that's just a little cruel.
Of course. It is, but what did he do?
That was cruel too.
Exactly. So because he did something to put himself in that position.
Pardon me?
Mike Martin.
Oh.
Yeah, see?
Mike Martin is here.
Yeah. Well, before you, real quick, Mike Martin, former University of Illinois standout, Cincinnati Bengal standout. He's back here because they got the spring game tomorrow.
Yeah, and they're having a pre-spring game event tonight at the Wyndham Garden Hotel. We'll get him to explain that to you a little bit more. Let's go fetch him.
The sergeant's gonna go get Mike, not fetch him. But yeah, the University of Illinois got their game coming on tonight, or not tonight, but on Saturday, and so you'll get a chance to see what's going on with this current version of the University of Illinois. Grab my chair.
What's happening?
What's going on, bro?
Oh, man.
This is Joe Stovall.
What's going on, man?
What's going on with you? Come.
Good.
There you go. Give me that microphone and
Have a seat.
come on up. And we are live. Talking Sports WBCP 1580. As we indicated earlier, Mike Martin is here. The pre-Illini spring game and Coach's Clinic Jam.
All in one word.
All in, just say it, let it flow. Wyndham Garden Inn, you know where that's at, the old Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn. I didn't know that, though.
1001 Killarney in Urbana. Hosted by, and he's sitting right here to host, former Illini great and Cincinnati Bengal great. You write this?
That's me.
See?
That's me.
You know what I love?
My publicist.
Mike Martin.
Yes, there you go.
Music provided by DJ Simply C. I think we know who that is.
Yeah, we know who that is.
She just called in earlier, Carletta. Admission is $5 before 10. So, you know, if you sit at home or you parking lot pimping, you get there after 10.
Yeah.
And don't call talk about doing that.
Come on,
Man, I was here.
Man, can you get Mike?
Look. And not only that, don't sit and say, but I was in the parking lot at 9:48.
Hey, this is digital. We live in a digital world now. If you don't get in there when the clock strikes 10, you paying $10.
Man, let me tell y'all something. I'm listening to y'all riding down the street. I'm cracking up. Y'all are hilarious.
Why do everybody say that?
You
man?
guys are hilarious.
Why do people say that, man?
We talking sports.
And then look, and here I feel bad because I put on a Tennessee shirt.
That's all right. We ain't never played now. I'm good.
I thought it was orange and blue. I didn't look at what was on the front.
Yeah.
But first of all, bro, appreciate you coming down.
My pleasure,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Share with everybody, first of all, listening, who Mike Martin is.
Well, you know what? And it's funny. I spoke at a school this morning, and I had to give my almost like my resume, my
Okay.
bio. I am a former Illini. Came here in '79. When I left my senior year, I was the leading receiver in the nation. A lot of folks don't know that. I led the nation.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I led the nation in receiving. I got drafted by the Cincinnati Bengals. Played 7 years with the Bengals, and stayed in Cincinnati for about 30 years.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, this is something that a lot of folks don't know. Are you guys familiar with the Cincinnati Jazz Festival, Music Festival?
Yeah.
I am.
The Cool Jazz Festival.
I've been the opening act the last 2 years, and I'm opening this year.
Wait a minute.
As a matter of fact, we get a huge contingency of Champagne folks that come down every year. I had a couple of nightclubs in Cincinnati. They all come and party with us after the concert.
Right.
But guess who I'm opening up for? Saturday night, Frankie, Beverly and Mays,
Very amazed.
Kim, Jill Scott. I don't even know who the other guy is. I ain't never heard of him before. And me. And I'm opening act.
So what do you do?
I sing.
What do you think? You doing joke?
Yeah.
Watch me pull a rabbit out of my hat.
Hello. I'm thinking jokes, man.
Now coming to the stage, the great Mike Martin.
No, but along with that, I am now I'm a national head scout for NCSA athletic recruiting, and we do a lot of things helping kids find scholarships and get in school.
People, when he says NCSA does probably, I won't say probably, NCSA does the best job when it comes to the combination of understanding athletics and academics.
Yes.
When it comes to getting high school athletes into the collegiate level.
Yep.
They do I took my kids to a couple of the combines, and before you even touch the field, you in the gymnasium or in a classroom, talking about core curriculum, core GPA, and ACT. You get a lot of people who complain and say that there's nothing out there for the current student athlete, and I say no. NCSA, look them up, and if this man is at the top, that tells you his value, because NCSA does a real good job.
And you know what's funny is that we deal with kids all over the country, and we're getting kids in the 8th grade now. They're starting to understand the fact that they need to start early, because I'm sure you guys know you got a lot of knucklehead college guys out there messing it up for everybody. So what the colleges are saying is that, you know what, we need to do a better job of seeing who these kids are that's coming into our universities. So we want to start following them early. And that's what we're telling these kids. Let these coaches know who you are right now, so you can be a part of that graduating class. You know, because I've talked to kids that's graduating 2019. I said, you want to be on that wall in somebody's office. When they start looking at the 2019 class, you want that to be you.
Right.
And so we're doing a lot of stuff with it, man. I'm also I lost my son a year ago.
Sorry.
To a pulmonary embolism. And a lot of people don't even know what that is. I didn't even know what it was. It's a blood clot that travels from your leg and it gets enlarged in your lung.
Yeah.
And he was 25 years old, and next year would be a month. I mean, next month would be a year for his death. And I have created a $1 challenge for PE, and we are creating a scholarship at his high school in his name. We're creating we kicked off a camp last summer for a free youth football camp because he played for me when I coached in high school and in Cincinnati, and he also came back and was helping me to coach. And the high school was Taft High School, and he loved that school. I mean, he said that was I was the original Coach Carter. Remember Coach Carter when the kid had to like sign a contract with his son?
Right.
That was before the Coach Carter happened. And I was like, I can't believe they just stole my story, man. You know, but what happened was, we had to convince his mom to let him come to my school because my school was in the city school, you know. And he came. He said that was the best thing that ever happened to him. He said he met a lot of guys, still friends with him, and it shook up the city. When he passed, I'm talking. When I say shook up the city, it was breaking news. People were calling me. They were like, "Man, what is this? Is this real?" I'm like, "Man, yeah, he's gone, man. It's my man. He was my man." I'm talking about since he was a little boy next to me all the time. Anybody that saw him, they saw me. It was like that wasn't my son. I was his dad.
Right.
And so this $1 challenge, we're telling folks, hey, get on Facebook, get on Twitter, get on YouTube, whatever. It's a $1. There's a place where you can go. It's GoFundMe.com. GoFundMe.com/Marcus Martin Fund.
Okay.
And donate $1. That's it. We're not asking people to go broke doing this.
Right.
But if everybody donate $1, man, we're gonna, keep my son's name alive and keep him going because, he, based on what I'm hearing, he didn't have to die. Didn't have to die. All they had to do is run the proper test on him.
Right.
And we're in the courts right now dealing with this because it's a mess. It was a mess. I talked to him like one night. We watching the NBA playoffs. Hey man, call me because he fainted at work. So he had some signs. Fainted at work. They took him to the hospital, kept him overnight. Just observations. Call me in the morning, man. All right, love you, Pop. Love you too, dude. Got a call the next morning telling me my son was gone, and then I got to tell his mom.
Oh man.
It was funny. Somebody said that it was supposed to rain today. I'm like, come on, man. Not on a Martin's parade. Not on my. My son was like, no, not today. Not today. Come on, man. Not today.
There you go.
Not today.
It was forecast.
Yeah. And people were saying, well, how you think the party gonna go if it rains? I said, oh, I don't worry about that.
You got this covered.
I said, don't y'all know? It doesn't rain on the Martin's parade.
Well, to keep his memory alive, I appreciate you sharing that information. We'll definitely get more information out there. You're here. Obviously, you got an event tonight. Why? All the years that Illinois football has been going on, why this weekend?
I hope that nobody told them what type of critics we are of Illini football.
Oh, you know what though? I can join the club then.
Oh, okay.
Well, pull up just a little closer then.
No, you know what? You know what it was? I moved to Chicago.
Okay. I
live in Chicago now, and so actually I'm coaching with Morgan Park High School. Coaching football with them, and I knew. From years past, coming to the coaches clinic and coming for the games, it's not much to do afterwards,
right?
Or that weekend. And so I was called the party man in Cincinnati. I always had parties, all kind of things going on, and so I said, you know what? I'm gonna do something in Champaign. I'm sure the grown folks would love to have a nice event that they can go to, you know, dress nice, come on out, have a good time, don't have to worry about no foolishness, you know, just come enjoy themselves. And so, of course, Carletta, you know, Myra, Kathy Keaton, all, you know, they were like
Staples of the community.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh shoot.
Listen, my friends from when I was back here in school, and you know, I said, you know what, find me a spot and let's make it happen. And they did it.
And
so
they got you
I'm
going.
here, yeah.
So
Now,
what can we expect for this evening? I mean, what are people going to get when they show up?
You know what? They had a decent class, recruiting class. It wasn't bad. Middle of the road for the Big Ten. The thing is that they have to make sure that they have to do more than just compete. You know, because people, you know, it has to be beyond the point of competing now.
right.
What is this? This is third year, fourth year?
It's fourth year.
Yeah. See, you got to be beyond competing. You got to start winning. And when you're not winning, it makes everybody, you know, alumni especially, unhappy.
Yeah,
and when they're unhappy,
attendances fell off at Memorial Stadium, and there's a lot of naysayers in this town right about now about Illini football.
Right.
Now go back to when you came here with Gary Moeller.
Yes.
And then just
Mike White.
Mike White comes in, and the atmosphere changed. The style of play, he wasn't running bow 3 yards in a cloud of dust.
Right.
Mike White, Neil Stoner. There was a party every Saturday at the
Literally.
Yes.
Yes.
Talk about when you played, because to leave at that time as the number one receiver shows you the change in philosophy.
Oh yeah. When Mike White came, I was on the verge of transferring. A lot of people don't know that. I was on the verge of going to North Carolina because my buddy who I went to high school with, he went to North Carolina, and I just felt like I wasn't happy, even though I was one of the few rookies that played that year. I didn't play a lot, and I just didn't like, the way everything was going. So I was like, you know what, it's time for me to go. So I wound up calling saying, hey, you guys still interested? And they were like, yes, if you want to come, come on. We'll work it out. And here comes Mike White. And and in spring ball, he said, why didn't you play much? Good question. Because I came in as a freshman doing my thing. Practice, you figure in practice, if you making it happen in practice, they should give you an opportunity, but I never got it. He came in and said, you know what? He said, we're going to bring in some guys that's going to throw this ball. We're going to create a West Coast offense that's going to, just blow the Big Ten, take the Big Ten by storm, and we're going to put you in a situation to utilize your abilities. And I went from 3 catches to 35 catches to 45 catches to 84 catches my senior year.
Wow.
And that was strictly because he said, we have some guys that, one, we had quarterbacks that can throw, and we had, a system that was going to utilize the abilities that everyone had.
We're talking to the great Mike Martin, former Illini great, Cincinnati Bengal great. He's here because if you're looking for something to do tonight, he's got it. 9 to 2 a.m., the pre-Illini Spring Game and Coaches Clinic Jam. It's going to be at the Wyndham Garden Hotel. Most folks around here know that's the old Holiday Inn.
The old Holiday Inn.
I don't know why you call it old, just because it's not there no more.
It has a new name.
Is that what it is? Formerly the Holiday Inn.
I should have put that on the flyer so folks will know.
It's on Killarney. You know where it is.
They didn't had enough events since it didn't change hands.
There you go.
It's the former Holiday Inn.
So like it says at the bottom of the flyer, this is a grown and sexy event. So Sarge, you gotta go. Because it's a sexy event.
I'm gonna be there.
You ain't gotta be grown, but if you sexy,
Hold on. My attendance was asked for.
You were requested.
I was requested
by the DJ
to be there.
But wait a minute, let me tell you this. I did an interview yesterday in the Gazette, and and the writer asked me, you know, we just got one question to ask you, and everybody in the office has been asking this. What is grown and sexy? What does that mean?
It's culture.
It's
culture, man.
You had to explain it.
I had to break it down to.
They're like, oh.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
And I, you know, I was like, hey, I said.
He was talking to Lauren Tate.
Yeah. I said it's someone that is mature and looking good.
Don't show your drawers tonight. Don't nobody want to see no sagging.
Oh, they can't get in the building. You can't get in the building.
Check your shoes. If your shoes turned over, if you walk in a circle when you got your shoes on, that means your shoes turned over.
Yeah.
So you can't come in. Proper attire is a must, but we don't need to tell that to you because folks out there listening know how to handle their business when it comes to this.
We have a few folks in town that's been out before.
So, right. They understand. And I think before, because the thing I'm looking at, what's so interesting here, us locals, I'm gonna play it like that. You know, you see brothers like Mike, they come in, they make a big splash when they hear, and then they leave. Mm-hmm. But for him to come back says a lot about him and his character. He didn't have to do this.
No.
Mike could get a suite somewhere at the Wyndham Garden Inn, have a few fellas come over, Mike Holmes and the gang.
Hospitality room.
Come from the coach's clinic, hospitality room. He didn't have to open this thing up. But what that shows is the connection between a former great in the community and the ties he has with folks around here.
You know what? Let me get on. Let me talk about that a little bit.
Get on this.
Let me talk about that a little bit. The one thing that I enjoyed when I was here, I got hooked up with a bunch of different families in Urbana, and they were like family to me. You know, I would go over and relax and just to get away from campus. You know, and it made me feel, because you got to understand, you know, you're talking about a young black man from the projects of Washington D.C. Mm-hmm. that has never been anywhere. Mm-hmm. You know, not for a long period of time.
Right. And
so now I'm out here by myself for the most part. And so Mike White and his staff was smart enough to incorporate, you know, some the community with the athletes. Mm-hmm. You know, hey, you need, if you feel like, you know, it's you know, what's happening to you on campus is overwhelming and you just want to get away, you know, here, you know, come talk to the Cooks. You know, come talk to the Nesbitts. Come to, you know, all those, you know. And so it made me feel comfortable.
Right.
You know, I mean, there's plenty of times I've gone over, you know, the Cook's house and just jumped on the floor, watched TV, watched NFL games on Sundays.
Right.
You know, and so why they took that away is beyond me. You know, there's no reason why, you know, those athletes over there, and this is to show you how you know, important that is. I've been talking with all of those folks that I just mentioned earlier. To this day, we talk never lost contact.
See?
Never lost contact. All these years.
Right.
Never lost contact. And all that, you know, it's like, hey, whenever I come in town, they're the first ones I call.
See?
You know, they come to Cincinnati and visit.
Right.
Been to my club, hanging out. You know, and so why, I understand, you know, why would you not want the athletes and the people from the university to get involved with the people that live here in the city?
Right.
You know, I you know, now when did you graduate?
83.
83. I think the culture between the university and us local people really started to change right around about then. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, things that were happening on this side of town that the university didn't want the students to get involved with, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, see, the thing, you know what, and I don't mean to cut you off, but the thing that, one, you gotta look at who are the people that's coming out this way. What type of athletes are coming out here? Mm-hmm. See, my thing was, I came out here to just to get away. to get away from campus.
Right.
I came out here to be, to be in a family atmosphere. Now, if you're an athlete and you come in here for some foolishness,
Right.
you can go anywhere for some foolishness. So don't make it seem like, oh, the people in there, the Urbana folks, they don't go over there. It's too much stuff. No, man, you coming over here because you looking for something.
Right.
And you could go in any city in America and find what you're looking for.
Amen.
And so, I just, when I start hearing about it, I kept saying, man, I said, they don't know what they're missing. A lot of those players are not getting the type of experience that we had.
Right.
And I'm talking about it was a lot of us
Right.
that still stay in contact with a lot of people here, and I think they're missing a boat. I really do, and I think they're missing a boat. And if they realize that there's a community here that would love to be a part of what's going on at that university, because the other thing is, think about all the people that lived here that went there.
Right.
So
And work there.
yeah. So why would you not want to, have them involved? I also hear a lot of people saying, you guys, you gave the wrong person the mic. Now I just want you to know, you gave the wrong person the mic.
He's a preacher.
I'm trying to, when I hear them talking about athletes out in the community, what community is that? Is it here? Are they coming here?
Right.
What, the athletes, that got outreach programs. Are they coming here?
Right.
No, they go to the hospital.
Like, but what I'm saying.
Maybe a school.
Okay,
or two.
so I remember, I got hooked up with the Big Brothers Big Sister program. And you guys may have remembered this, and this had to have been, wow, man, I don't know how many years ago. But there was a young kid. Remember, somebody burned down the what's the mall out here? Somebody started a fire
At
Marketplace. It was the brother of one of the little kids that I was mentoring, but they gave me the other brother. But the youngest brother was the one I should have had.
Right.
Because when I saw it on the news.
Like, hold on.
And I'm with the brother. He and we go bowling. And he gets a call, you got to come home right now. And it come to find out his little brother went to him and some other guys and went and burnt down the mall. So those are the kind of guys that you need to send these athletes out here to help,
Right.
to get engaged with.
We got plenty of programs. First, we're talking to the great, and I'm going to say it again, the great, former Illini great, Mike Martin, Cincinnati Bengal. How long you playing the league?
7
years. So he got pitching. Got
that picture.
You got that picture. I told you that's what you want to get.
I got one more year. Kicks in. Kicks in 1 more year.
They got an event going on tonight. The spring game and Coaches Clinic Jam is happening at the Wyndham Garden Hotel, 9 o'clock to 2 a.m. Grown and sexy. We don't need to explain it. This ain't Lauren Tate. Yeah. This ain't News Gazette Sports.
Look, if it has to be explained, then it ain't for you.
Right.
Who else is going to be there?
Oh man, I know. I just left Mike Holmes, Joe Curtis, Eric Rouse, Calvin Thomas. Let me see, who else? That's all I can think of. A lot of guys from my era.
A lot of former Illini greats from the late 70s, early 80s.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't remember half the names because I wasn't here then.
You was guarding gold.
I
You was
was
standing
here
in
then.
front of Fort Knox with a old sawed-off shotgun and Beetle Bailey hat on.
It's gonna be nice to meet some of these fellas.
And the other thing is that I just left the hotel where the coaches clinic is, and got an opportunity to talk to a lot of the coaches there. And so it's gonna be coaches from all over the city, all over the state.
Remember I told you the softball team I played on, Virtual Trotters? Mm-hmm. Mike Holmes, Kirby Wilson, just to name a couple of guys. Took me and two of my buddies. We went to high school with Chris White.
Okay.
Coach White's son.
Yeah.
So that was our affinity into when you guys were in school. We were juniors, seniors in high school. And to your point about mentors, because see, I think this is where people misunderstand or misinterpret about allowing athletes into the community. here it is, you're junior or senior in high school, and you get a guy who's a sophomore, junior in college. The gap may only be 2-3 years, but the experience is 2 or 3 decades.
Yeah.
And the information that they shared with us just during that time period was effective for me moving on, going into my collegiate career. And I think there's the disconnect today, is you might have a kid today, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, in one of the high schools around here. And if they just spend some time around them,
Right.
through just osmosis, the conversation that they hear, the mature conversation, the things that these guys are going through school resonates with them. And I think that's where, going back when you said about the community and family, because then that's the same thing retroactively that happened with you, is now you would the Cooks, the Nesbitts, families who've been entrenched in the community for decades. And here it is, you come from DC, 18, 19 years old, and you're getting real family love.
Right. Just like home.
That's it.
Just like home.
So now this becomes your second home. So going to your point about now you come back, who do you call?
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're, as Sarge said, mid 80s, it started to change. And now, because I remember working at the Boys and Girls Club, Tony Easton laying on the couch, knocked out. Hey, it is Champagne Tony. You see him on Saturday throwing the football all over the field, but he's down here at the Boys and Girls Club in the middle of the neighborhood, working just like the rest of us. And those are the things that resonate with me, is that it takes away the disconnect. Because I think sometimes what happens, you see an athlete in 2D. You see him on the TV screen, you see him on a poster or whatever. So you don't see them in any other light other than athletics. But when you see them just at a game, shooting pool, hanging out, they become people. And then you can become closer to people, and once you get that connection lasts for a lifetime.
When Miss Nesbitt died, myself, Mike Holmes, Greg Foster, Anthony Welch, we came down here for her funeral. I missed Mr. Nesbitt, Bruce's. I missed this funeral, but I heard it was a huge contingency of guys who played around my time. Now, and here's the thing. This is one of the things that I think is very interesting. The biggest spring game this university has ever had was when they brought back the guys from the Mike White era. Now, why is that?
Connection with the
Why
community.
is that? And you know where we went when we came in town?
To the Nesbitt house.
We went to Jackson's. We went to the Legion. We went to places that, it was like, that's where we used to go.
Right.
And so when we came here, man, it was no question. Where we gonna go? Everybody, we gonna go over to Jackson's to get something to eat. And later on that night, we're going over to the Legion and
Get something to eat.
Yeah. And so, but the thing is that era was something that stays. We talk about those times forever. I was with David and Oliver Williams over the summer out in LA, and man, that's all we talked about.
Wow.
Those times, man, the times we had, and hooking up with the families in Urbana, and and I still say it's a shame that a lot of the guys today won't get the opportunity to experience the kind of stuff that we had.
Now, Juice Williams, short-lived career as a director of alumni. His wife got a job out at Georgetown. But I know one of the things that has been talked about is getting more alumni back involved with the program. Talk from two areas. Talk, first of all, from a football standpoint of why it's important to get you guys, I'm going to say you guys because you guys were successful, back involved with the football aspect, and then how do you then take that and get it back to what you just talked, the golden era of a community and football program engagement?
Well, one of the things is that when fans and recruits when they see that there's love from the university, from the alumni towards the university, everybody feels like, wow, man, that's a family. You know, that is a great family. Look at all the guys that's showing up. You know, you go to some spring games, and it would be filled with alumni. Filled with alumni. We came back. They honored captains and All-Americans for one of the games. I'm like, wait a minute. I know there were more captains than this. It must have been 10 guys out on the field.
Right.
And I'm like, where's everyone? They said, oh, they signed up to come, but they just didn't show up. And so, when people can see the love, you know what they say, you know, from a fan standpoint, they're saying, okay, you know, these guys are really together. They really trying to, you know, they want to make sure that the university is going in the right direction, and then and how that translate into playing well and getting the athletes. Alumni will go out and talk to schools. You know, hey, University of Illinois is a great place to be. You know, you make friends for life. You know, you get a good education. They're not doing that. They're not doing that. You know, and so until you get, because actually there are a lot of alumni that's coaching in the state of Illinois. But you don't get that many players from those schools.
Right.
Wow.
You know? And is it because the players are saying, you don't want to go there now? Not now. But see, if there was love, then it would be, hey, University of Illinois should be that should be the place you should go. Right. You know?
Well, basically, when they bring a recruit in, they show them the facilities, take them around the university, this, that, but they never take them out in the community.
Right. Right, yeah.
So,
they say, and the thing is, they took us. You know why they took us out in the community? They took us out in the community because we had guys like Mike Holmes, Carew Taylor, Mike Sherrod, who were guys that were hanging in the community. So when we wanted to do stuff, it was like, come on, man, we're gonna go down here. Because the first thing, and you gotta understand, me coming from DC,
right.
Chocolate City. First thing I said, hey, any blacks here?
You looking for it?
Yeah, and they said, oh yeah, they got Urbana, man. Come on, can we go over there? Just ride around.
Right.
You know, I just want to, just let me know it's some, you know. Not, and again, I don't want to sound like I'm not a racist. Don't want to sound, but I came from DC.
Right.
You know,
right.
And so I want to make sure that I'm seeing me.
Right.
You know, and we didn't, you know, but when we came over there about it, okay, yeah,
good now.
We home now. I'm good. I feel comfortable now, cause it ain't that far.
Right. We're having a fabulous conversation with the great Mike Martin, former Atlanta.
Man, you guys do a great job with this show, man. Y'all need a.
Man, it's like a bad marriage.
We've been doing this for what?
Going on 11 years.
Going on 11
wow.
Yeah, all on a whim.
Wow.
All on a whim, and like I said, it's like you get drunk, and you wake up in Vegas, you got a wedding ring on, and you look, and damn, that's who I married. But we've been having a great time. I think
we got to work on some. We got to get some sponsors, man. We got to get some sponsors.
Yeah, we
there we go. We can definitely use it, and I think one of the things that we've enjoyed, because when we get folks like you to come on here, what it does, what your presence has done today, people hear things, people see things, but they don't know things.
Right.
And the knowledge that comes in from an individual like yourself to share real story, real time,
right,
and then mention names that people within the community connect to,
right,
opens and broadens their vision in terms of what the university was and what it should be. And that's why it's fantastic to have an individual like yourself come on the show. We get guys that come here all the time to share stories, and the more come in, I think the more this connects community, university, and what should really be going on. Final thing I'll say is this. Sorry, said it best. We are staunch critics of the football program. And we're becoming that for the basketball program.
Yeah, sure.
But it's because it goes back to what I just said. There is a disconnect.
Right.
Back in the 80s, there was no disconnect.
Right.
You knew who the football team, you knew who the basketball team was, because they were sitting in your kitchen,
Right. Right.
or you were sitting somewhere with them.
Coming next door to get a haircut.
Right.
Yeah.
Something as simple as that.
Yeah.
Well,
You know, and so because of that, I think that's why today has been so special. And I really hope people who are out there listening will get out tonight, 9 a.m., 2 p.m., or 9 p.m. They wait till 9 a.m.
No, don't.
They get breakfast.
and let me tell you this. This is a promise, and I don't make a lot of promises.
Uh-oh.
I'm not one of those kind of guys because I don't like to break them.
Get your pen.
This is a promise.
Get your pen.
Okay.
If we get a good night tonight, you guys will be seeing me once a month here in Champaign.
Write that down.
For my Final Friday event.
Uh-oh. Not first Fridays.
Final Friday.
Final Fridays,
Final
folks.
Friday.
Last Friday of the
Friday
month.
of the month.
You know when you get your check.
Last Friday of the month. And
Next to the last one.
when I was doing it in Cincinnati, it got to the point where it was the biggest once a month event in the Midwest.
Wow.
And so
I think I went to his club in Cincinnati a few years ago.
You might
went
have.
there for a Pittsburgh Steeler game that Sunday. Got
yeah,
there
you
Saturday
might
night.
have. You might have.
You know, and it was. I can't say we got TV cameras. Carletta gonna tell my mama. You know, so I ain't. And everybody look. But
I only spent the night there once.
did you? Oh, you was just passing through.
Just passing through.
Okay. Well, hey. Let's get a big turnout for Mike. Not only for Mike, for the community.
Exactly.
Let's get this thing back to the way it used to be. You're going to have some great people there. If you are looking to reminisce with some former Illini greats, tonight is the night. Wyndham Garden Inn. The spring game and Coach's Clinic Jam, $5 before 10. So you can use that $5 for a drink for Sergeant Rock, because he'll be
Don't be thirsty.
drink hustling all night long.
also one more thing. Make sure that you go to my Facebook page, Mike Martin, and you will see a story about my son and the $1 challenge for pulmonary embolism. Our slogan is PE doesn't have to be, and we're trying to bring awareness to this deadly sickness. And like I said, it's only $1. Go to GoFundMe.com/Marcus Martin Fund, and you can make your donation. And like I said, he was a great young man, 25 years old, great young man, and you know, I'm going to keep his name relevant until my last breath is gone.
We're going to assist Mike in that. So as he just indicated, he's not asking for anything more than $1. And being a father of two boys, you know, just listening to the passion that he talks about his son, you know, is resonating with me. And so I want to keep this thing going. So every Friday when we do this show, before we close out, we will be talking about PE doesn't have to be. GoFundMe/Marcus Martin Fund. A lot of people got involved in the ALS Bucket Challenge last year.
Yeah.
Get involved in the GoFundMe Marcus Martin Fund this year. $1 is all you need.
Yeah.
That's all. Brother man.
Man, guys, it's been a pleasure, man.
Well,
Listen,
you don't have to leave right now. We got 15 minutes left. If you want to stick around, and then
I need some sleep.
You got to get ready.
Look, I've been on the road since this morning. I spoke to a school this morning.
Okay.
Prior to coming here, and I had to go over to the clinic. I've been passing out flyers all over town. Carletta told me I don't have to do that. She got it. But I'm a hands-on kind of guy. So
what he don't want to do is what you say back in the day. He don't want to peak too soon.
Yeah.
He don't want to be in the party at 10:35 and people talk about where Mike.
Try to find somewhere to take some shut eye.
all right, Mike.
Well, enjoy your afternoon.
Thank you, guys.
We will see you. Thank you once again.
Yep, and I'll see you later on. Today.
Yeah, you guys come on out, man.
Great Mike Martin, University of Illinois. All-time leading receiver back in the day. Gary Moeller, Mike White-Ear. A lot of the guys from that time are here for the Coaches Clinic that they have here every year. So if you're looking to holler at some former greats, get over to the Wyndham Garden Hotel 1001 Killarney Street in Urbana, formerly the Holiday Inn.
Yeah.
Doors open at 9. If you're there before 10, it's $5. After 10, $10.
I'll be there.
Grown and sexy event.
Yeah. I'll
Proper
be there.
attire.
I'll be there. You gonna be there, Joe?
I gotta be grown and sexy.
You gonna make a cameo appearance. All right, a few more things before we get out of here. They finished up with Aaron Hernandez's trial. He was found guilty. First-degree murder. He's going to be in prison for life. He was also found guilty of carrying a firearm without a license, carrying a large capacity firearm, 2 counts, guilty. Possession of initials without a Ford card, guilty. Possession of a firearm without, guilty. So he's going away for a long time. Former NFL running back Lawrence Phillips is suspected of killing his prison inmate.
It's about the only thing he's been able to do.
Phillips was once the nation's top college football player at Nebraska. He played for St. Louis Rams until he was released in 1997 for insubordination. He also played for...
Dick Vermeil, lucky he didn't have no one-on-one session with Lawrence Phillips.
Dick Vermeil been in there crying. Why you want to act that way?
I just want to play good football.
All right, he played for Miami Dolphins and San Francisco 49ers. He was sentenced to more than 31 years. He was convicted of twice choking his girlfriend in 2005 in San Diego and in 2006 for driving his car into 3 teens after a pickup football game in Los Angeles.
Who got my coat?
Yeah, he was suspected of killing Davian Soward, 37 inmate from San Bernardino County, who was serving 82 years to life, so he just got in there.
Well, you know what happened? Dude probably said, yeah, I got more time than you.
No, I want the top buck. Anyway,
Lawrence said, let's tackle for it.
Yeah, Lawrence sitting there on his bunk. Guards come in, dude, laying.
What happened, Lawrence?
I don't know.
Snitches get stitches. Lawrence, ain't nobody else in here. I don't know. Snitches get stitches, I see it.
I don't know. And Illinois had their men's basketball banquet sponsored by the Kiwanis Club. That was Monday night. Nana Egwu and Rayvonte Rice were named co-outstanding players for the 14-15 season. So kudos to them.
Austin Colbert's transferring.
Who?
Austin Colbert, number
Who?
31. The sophomore came off the bench, played spot time. I always thought that Austin's game, if he played in more of an up and down pace, offensive and defensive scheme, maybe he would have flourished a little bit more. But, he's not he just didn't fit John Gross's system. And, unfortunately, you're starting to see kind of a turnstile deal where 2 or 3 guys are leaving each year.
Yeah,
that's not a good sign.
That's not good for your program.
It's not good because of chemistry. If 2 or 3 guys are leaving because they're going to the league or they're graduating, that's one thing. But it also is a sign of the times that, back in the day, freshmen and sophomores just didn't play. Unless you were Magic Johnson or Isaiah, you had to be dominant.
You had to be good.
You had to be good to play as a freshman and sophomore. But now everybody's expectation when they come out of high school, if I was a star in high school, I should be a star in college. And
we know it don't always pan out.
And coaches are getting into that delicate balancing act of, trying to teach and groom guys, but at the same time,
it's all about winning.
That's it.
All about the W's.
That's it.
Other awards handed out that night. TNT Award went to Nana Egwu, outstanding player. Like I said, Nana Egwu and Rayvonte Rice. The Matt Hellman Motto Award, Nana Egwu. The Lou Henson Courage Award, Nana Egwu. Kenny Battle Leadership Award, Nana Egwu. Most Improved Player, Michael Finke. Orange Plus 3-Point Shooting Award, Rayvonte Rice. Raph Wood Free Throw Trophy Award, Jalen Tate. Illini Rebounding Award, Rayvonte Rice. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For Nana Egwu. 1, 2, 3 for Rayvonte. And they share the award. Now, if I was Egwu, I'd be like, hey, come on now, I won more than he did.
Well, I think the two guys that you named off there both deserve the awards that they won, and
That just me.
they were the two seniors. Ravante had the 9-game suspension, or missed 9 games. Let me take that back. He was suspended for, I think, 2, but he had the injury to his hand. But even with that, the time he played before he got injured and the time coming back from suspension, he always played at a high level and tried to carry the team. And for him, I think to culminate Ravante's career, you got to give kudos to the fact that we got a local kid who went through Edison Middle School, Champaign Centennial High School. He went to Drake for a couple years, then transferred over to Illinois. I think it was fantastic to see him close out his career here at home.
Yeah, aren't they supposed to be retiring his?
On Wednesday, 2 o'clock over at Edison, retiring his middle school jersey.
I wish they were retiring mine from baseball.
They did. It was just old.
Yeah. And finally, Formula One champion Lewis Hamilton. Now, I don't know if we talked about him maybe a few years back. Mm-hmm. He about the only brother running in the Grand Prix, the Formula One cars.
Because it costs a lot of money.
Yeah. Anyway, he won a Chinese Grand Prix, and a lot of folk were getting on him, especially social media, about him spraying champagne all over the model girls who were on stage. And he said, it wasn't no big deal. They do this all the time. And they went through and showed a bunch of pictures where the winner was on the big stage and the girls were standing up there and they shaking the champagne bottles and squirting them, this, that, and the other. A lot of people weren't happy with that.
Imagery and cultural connotation is all that's about.
Is that what it is?
The black man spraying champagne on scantily cladded women.
Well, they weren't scantily clad. These were Chinese girls.
Right, in bikinis.
No, they weren't. They were in dresses.
Okay. Well.
The one hostess, Liu Xing, she's a 20-year-old alumni of the Shanghai Institute of Visual Arts, and she also worked for a real estate company. She told the Shanghai Daily on Wednesday that the incident has been blown out of proportion.
Right. She didn't mind getting shot with champagne.
Yeah, she said it was only for a few seconds.
Right. Saying she'd have been shot with a lot more than that.
Oh, Joseph. All right, locally, what's going on?
Little League kicked off Monday over at Douglas Park. The park is open. Park is alive.
Yeah, I saw the other day I was on my way on the trail on the way home, and I saw him out there warming up and everything, so getting ready for ball games.
Monday through Thursday, whether it be a suited league, the 11 and 12-year-olds of the farm league, 9 and 10-year-olds, there's going to be activity going on out there every day, practices, etc. This is, I guess, my public service announcement to the community that, obviously we've had some recent violence. A lot of shootings going on throughout the community, and I know there are, different stances that people take when it comes to this. I say to you, and I say to Champaign, I say to Urbana, and I say to everyone, when we look out in that park, there may be multiple generations of people out there, and those individuals have just as much a right to have a safe place to congregate, to watch their grandkids, their children, their nieces, their nephews, their cousins, etc., like anybody else in any other community. With that being said, that means all of us, have to find a way to curtail what's going on in the community and to get this reduced or get it stopped right now. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Whatever means that needs to be done, but we have to remember that every life is precious. I know there's the campaign that goes on right now that Black Lives Matter.
Mm-hmm. Every life matters.
And we need to make sure that we're doing whatever we can to make sure this happens, because the number of years that we've been doing first string baseball out in the park, I've always felt safe and I've always felt comfortable. I want our children, whether they be playing T-ball, peanut, farm, or suited, I want the parents, I want the coaches, administrator, or just a casual fan to feel the same security that I feel when I go out there. So, whatever we got to do. Do I have the answer? No, because if I did, it wouldn't be going on.
Okay.
But do what we got to do.
All right. And with that, it's time to wrap up this edition of Talking Sports. We do this each and every Friday from 2 to 4, so you be sure and tune in again next week. We'll lace them up and do it again. Don't forget tonight, the pre-Illini spring game and Coaches Clinic Jam at Wyndham Garden Hotel, 9 until 2 o'clock a.m. $10 before...
$5.
$5 before...
For 10.
For 10 o'clock, $10 thereafter. Hosted by our guests, former Illini and Cincinnati Bengals wide receiver, Mike Martin. So come on out there to have a good time. I'll be there. Joe will be there. We'll be sitting over in the corner somewhere turning up. So
Talking about my...
you can come turn up with us. Joseph?
What movie are we watching tonight?
And that's not cold duck you spraying on me, is it?
Later.